think struggles, they're a part of life. I think they're important, and I think that's a way we grow. If you don't struggle with something and get through it on the other side, you don't learn through the struggle. It doesn't make you stronger.
We didn't share our story until now. Jack's 11 now. We didn't share it until now because I wanted to make sure that he understood. Well, we wanted to make sure he understood what his story was, and we wanted to make sure that it was okay with him that we share his story, because it is his story. When I was pregnant with Jack, I was teaching second grade. Everything was going really, really well. Healthy pregnancy. We got to spring break. It was time for my appointment. I was almost at 30 weeks and went to the doctor, and my blood pressure was just sky high. I woke up that night and my back was just absolutely killing me. I could not sleep. Sent us back over to the hospital, and they're asking us, okay, if you have this baby on Friday, what's his name? All these things. And Karl and I just both started laughing because we just knew that we were not having a baby on Friday, and found out later on that the reason my back was hurting so badly was because my liver was actually failing.
Our doctor came in, as she said, and told us things were going to get worse before they got better. Prayed with us, and really let us know the seriousness of her condition, and got the feeling that the reality of that I could leave the hospital with no new baby and no Jennifer. And that was really scary. And then Jennifer really started to get really sick. And they took her back for an emergency C-section.
When I woke up in recovery, I didn't know I had a baby. It was like, oh, what happened? I had a baby. All right. He was about a year old, and we knew that he wasn't gaining any weight. He had always thrown up. From probably, I guess, when we brought him home from the hospital, it was just like a constant thing. He would go 2 weeks and eat maybe like one thing. He'd been hospitalized 2 or 3 times at this point already. The doctor said, okay, let's just hospitalize him over the weekend. It was 4th of July weekend. But I don't know what happened during that time. We got home, and it was like he started keeping stuff down, and he slowly started getting a little bit better, but he still wouldn't eat. So we went to an intensive feeding therapist that our GI doctor at Children's sent us to. She was also at Children's. She was amazing. We had what's called the food game, and every single meal, every single snack, Jack had these toys. They were called table toys, and he would have a little 3-section plate. You would say, okay, Jack, it's sandwich time. If he'd take a bite of his sandwich, he'd get to play with his table toys for like 10 seconds. And then you'd say, okay, it's time to put your toys away. Now it's chip time. Take a bite of his chip, get to play with his toys, another 5 to 10 seconds. But if he didn't take a bite, you would have to take his food and hold it in front of his mouth for 30 seconds. During that time, he's a 3-year-old. So he would kick, scream, cry, hit, all the things, because he doesn't know why I'm sitting here holding this in front of his face, telling him it's sandwich time or whatever time it was. And it was really hard. I remember standing in the kitchen one day. There were multiple times that this happened, but I just remember this one day, standing in the kitchen at the kitchen counter, trying my best to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and just holding on to the countertops. My knuckles just white because I didn't know what was going to happen. Just please, if you'll just please eat this sandwich.
Throughout Jack's ordeal with not being able to eat, we prayed for him hard. And all our prayers throughout that process were answered, and has got us to where we're at now.
He was about 4.5 when this happened, and he finally ate on his own long enough that really just a few months before he started kindergarten. But I'll sit and watch him eat at the dinner table and just be like, oh, thank God. The leaps and bounds that this child has come is incredible.
When you see the end result and where he's at now, it's amazing.
Without my faith in Christ, there is no way I could have gotten through it.
I don't know what
uh, I don't know what state I would have been in the time where I was so scared with you in surgery and just not knowing where Jack was.
When I was pregnant with Annie Elizabeth, I went to my doctor's appointment and I was just having a hard time. Jack wasn't eating, couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I'm like 6 months pregnant and I just lost it in his office. My child won't eat. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he said, and I've never forgotten it, he said, let me tell you, right now, this that you're in, you're going to use this one day. Whatever you are struggling with today, just try to remember you're going to use that to help somebody one day. When your storm is over, whenever that may be, you're going to be able to help.